teach us to be more aware.
Yeah.
That we need to be aware of a certain situation, of a of something that. So, for example, it could be that one, is totally happy, totally fulfilled. They have a good job. They're doing well. All of a sudden, they find one day they've lost their job.
Aha.
Now there's a big shakeup at the root chakra level, because now that money that they had coming in is suddenly not there. Right now, what do I need to do?
So those are fluctuations that we attract into our lives. Yes.
But so some of it is what we attract, and some of it is what we need to go through.
Okay, to learn the specific lessons. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, because so for example, if one believes that we agree to sacral contracts before we come here, well, to get the knowledge and the wisdom and the lessons that we need, or the knowledge that we need, there are certain things that we have to go through that we do not have control over. Where we do have the control is the choices and decisions that we make while we're going through those things that we're going through.
Right.
That's where we have the choices. So, so that being said, so that's one example. So again, what do I need to do to stay grounded and to stay focused with my root chakra if I've just lost my job?
Oh, wow.
Right.
Well, practice all of these little techniques, I guess, in order for us to get grounded and back into track again, right?
Yeah, that's right. It could be, the death or the loss of a loved one.
Okay.
It could be that, one is, feeling that they're happily married, and all of a sudden they go to a party, the couple goes to a party, and they find that their spouse is now left with somebody else from the party. I mean, these are extreme things, but these things can and do happen.
Right.
And again, it's why has this happened? Why did this take place? Because if we're not in balance, if we're not listening to ourselves, and if we're not listening to ourselves, we're not listening to others, and we're not listening to our environment. And that could be anything and everything within our environment. Well, we're being sent messages all the time. And when we're not listening, or we're not prepared to listen, or don't want to listen, sometimes it takes that extreme thing to happen before we get that wake up. And it's like, what happened?
Wow.
They left my life. Why did they leave my life? Right? This is sudden. Well, really, it isn't sudden, because this has been happening for, a very long time. There have been warnings, like they've been saying things or doing things to give messages, but the other person hasn't been listening. And then, so because the other person hasn't been listening, they finally have enough. They're fed up. So they meet somebody at this party, and now they go off with them.
What is that you do in order to ground yourself, Greg? What's your strategy, your personal strategy? Do you have one?
Yeah, and I'm glad you asked that, because I mean, there isn't any one strategy. I mean, it's whatever works for each person. Right. So what works for me may not work for somebody else. Part of it might work for somebody else. So really, what's important is to find what works for
each and everyone.
For each and everyone, exactly. So so what I do is I make sure I spend time in nature every day.
Right.
I go for my walk in the park, and I do my best to be completely present in the moment of what's happening. Who's there? Who's around me? What is around me?
Right.
To say, to look at the trees and say, and you don't have to say hi to the trees out loud so other people hear you. You can even say hello in your mind, because everything is happening at that telepathic level.
Yes.
Right. So this way, other people don't have to perceive you as being crazy for saying hi to things, because everyone's, in a different vibration. So I say hi to the trees. I admire the sky, whether it's, and I have just as much love for the sky, whether it's blue, if it's gray, if it's white, so because we need all these different colors in the sky, because that's what keeps everything thriving. That's what keeps everything alive. Right. Give thanks to the rain. If it's raining, as much as we feel inconvenienced and it's and we don't like the rain as it falls on us, I give thanks to the rain.
Because we don't understand the reason why.
That's right. Yeah, because we need the rain.
Yeah, of course.
right? Because the rain brings and sustains life, right? Um, Without water, we couldn't survive in this organic dimension.
Is there a specific diet do you intake? I mean, eating root vegetables.
So yeah, so I have, for example, carrots.
Okay,
I don't eat as much root vegetables as I probably could,
right.
but I'll do things. I'll eat carrots. Um, I'll have beets, although they're not my favorite. Radishes aren't really my favorite,
Do you
but
work with scents or incenses?
yeah.
Aromatic.
So
Uh-huh.
good question. Yeah. So I like this. For example, incense that smells like pine or cedar,
Okay.
or lavender, or so. And these are all fragrances for the root
Okay.
chakra. So any of the senses, any of the incense fragrances that one can buy that mimic the smell of different trees and plants are
Right.
all very good for the root chakra.
So you
Yeah.
mentioned the colors. Do you specifically wear a specific color when you want to do something specific?
So for example, to get in touch with my root chakra, I'll sometimes wear green. So green is
Uh-huh.
very healing. You can also, if one's meditating, channeling green. I'll also wear red. For example, you're wearing red today. Well, red is the
I
color
thought
of
of
the
the
of the
idea.
root
Yes.
chakra,
Hmm.
right? I don't know if that was conscious or not, but that's very good, right?
It's actually very energizing when you're vibrating in a specific color because you cannot vibrate in all different colors at the same time. So you choose one
No,
for the day and vibrate with that one throughout the day.
yeah,
It's interesting
yeah.
and very powerful.
No, absolutely, absolutely.
Do you listen to specific music?
Right. Yeah, yeah. Music too. Yeah, that can be also. Music is also very grounding.
Okay.
And
Nowadays that we live in this technology, I mean, we can use the binaural rhythms. They are very well available in YouTube all around. So
yes,
binaural rhythms are is when you put the headphones and you get the third vibe coming out of yourself. So you generate your own thing. So it's a great deal.
it's true. That's true.
Also, I heard about spending time with grounded individuals. So
Definitely, definitely. But one has to know what ground it is to spend time with them.
exactly, exactly.
So it would be individuals that are focused on the here and now, in the present, right? So once one is aware of what that looks like, then seeking out other people who are also like-minded.
True, true, true. I see you have rocks in your apartment. I mean, uh, those are very useful most of the time because they are in vibration, in a total vibration with Mother Earth. I guess the sync of the rocks. It's
Yes.
it's very essential. I mean, we use candle holders, Himalayan salts, and those type of things. Even when we take a shower, I personally showering it. I think I found it very grounding. It allows.
And to be, yeah, and to be aware of when one is shower, like, so being aware of the water as it falls down on our
Yeah,
head,
exactly.
and as it hits each, different parts of our body, and just to be focused and present on, does the water feel warm? Does it feel cold? So that's very helpful,
Right, right.
right? When we're brushing our teeth, what does that feel like?
Exactly.
What does the toothpaste taste like?
Yeah.
You know, if just to be so no matter what we're doing, to be conscious of what we're doing while we're doing it, even in this conversation, just to be conscious of the conversation and of what's being discussed.
At every moment, it's very important to be there, right here, right now. Key.
Yes. Yeah,
That's
no,
definitely true.
absolutely.
Excellent. Okay, so exercising, exercising, you eat healthy, you focus on your body, uh, you bring your attention to the third dimension in the physical dimension, right? Right here.
Yes.
The
Yeah.
ability to consciously ground yourself in a very important, is a very important tool to have when it comes to a spiritual practice. I mean, if you are into spirituality, most people that are into it are always living body experiences to get in touch with other people. So what can you tell us about that? The physical master will have a lot to do with it.
Well, so for example, when you were talking about feeling, you know, pleasure, when we feel pain, the element of touch, all that is based in the root chakra.
Right, right.
Right. So if we feel so if something if we're walking outside and we if we're walking barefoot and then something you know triggers pain, right? We step on a sharp stone or a twig or something, you know, a bee stings us, a mosquito bite, right? So that's all. But also pleasure, you know, tasting something that tastes good, right?
Definitely. Sorry.
Or feeling something that feels nice. You know, the act of patting a dog or a cat, you know, that brings about pleasure. Well, that comes from the root chakra.
Right. Excellent. I hear something like the physical master is not only the person who can use his consciousness to transcend the physical dimension, but also the person who is able to fully engage their consciousness with their physical dimension. So uh, we are definitely not masters of all the whole entire physical environment because we're still learning about it.
Oh, there's so
But
much to
people who
learn.
have
Yeah,
reached those levels, I mean,
yeah,
wow.
yeah. In fact, the more we learn, the more we realize we don't know.
Oh yes, there's totally much more information that we have to
Yeah,
continually achieve. Yes.
true. Superstitions also, like, you know, the believing that, okay, if I walk under a ladder, I'm going to have 7 years of bad luck, or if I break a mirror, 7 days of bad luck, or if a black cat crosses my path, or, you know, we different people have different superstitions. That all comes from the root chakra.
Oh yeah, that's very interesting. Uh,
Our instincts come from the root chakra as well.
wow, wow. The body is first and foremost made out of energy.
Yeah,
So
and so the areas of the body, it's important also that people understand. So the root chakra affects certain, like the different chakras are affect different aspects within our body. So for example, the root chakra has to do with the spinal column, kidneys, our legs, our feet, the rectum area, as well as our immune system.
right.
And
Okay.
so when we're out of balance, other ways that you know we can feel that we're out of balance is if we have leg pain, if our feet, you know, are any pain, if there's um, if there's not enough blood flow going to the feet or to the legs, you know, varicose veins. Um, it could be that you know, our immune system is out of whack. So it could be that um, fibromyalgia, for example,
Right.
right? That's related to the root chakra. Okay, so yeah, so I think it's important just to mention that as well.
Oh, yeah.
Varicose veins, other immune, you know, related difficulties, depression, right?
But
Because
if we are
we're always
conscious of
feeling.
it, we will
Sorry,
be
what's
able
that?
to actually people with fibromyalgia, if they are conscious of it, I mean, that would be definitely a plus. But how to reach to the consciousness level, that's another story. Is part of their experiences, the reason why they're here. Yes, indeed. We are almost concluding. We are 48 minutes, so 50 minutes.
Oh, sorry. I just want to add really quick because you're talking about stones earlier. So,
Oh, yes.
um, so stones. So, for example, one can carry a stone with them to remind themselves to work on or to sustain their root chakra. So, hematite, black tourmaline, and onyx. Those are three that are really good for that.
Oh, beautiful.
So, I just want
What
I just
about a
want to
red
mention that. Yeah.
coral, jasper? I can a red dress, jasper, ruby.
Yeah. Oh, and also foods, other foods. I know you mentioned a few of the root foods. So foods that I like personally, like potatoes. You know, I'm one for sweet potatoes, but potatoes, sweet potatoes, tofu is good. Soy products, peanut butter, which I have a lot of. I actually eat a lot of peanut butter.
Very true.
Horseradish is good. Hot paprika, chives, cayenne, pepper, eggs, meats are also good. Beans, garlic. So these are all other things. These are things that I do like, right? And all of those are also good for the root chakra as well.
I see. There's a little composition that you can make. I mean, you grab a bottle of a glass bottle, a spray bottle, and you can put spring water into the bottle. Yeah. And also you can additionally put a little rock, your magic rock, your whatever rock that you have within yourself, put it inside there.
Yeah.
Shake it a little bit, put some salts or put some also some kind of composition. Actually, this really works. It's amazing.
One can put in garlic. When which will keep, if you put in garlic, it'll keep away the vampires.
We're talking. For some people, actually, to tell you the truth, it's amazing. If you want to really ground yourself, it must help. It's a vibrational frequency when you create the bottle. So when you shake that, it generates vibration.
Right.
That is grounding vibration. Yeah. So it does help.
Yeah. No, for sure, because again, the sense of smell is very strong, very powerful.
Right.
Right. And it really, it's about incorporating as many of the different senses as we can into this, because that's important. So you're talking about the sense of smell is important, sense of taste, touch. So holding that stone or that rock, feeling that water, when you're spraying that water, feeling the water.
Exactly.
You know, hearing, you know, our sense of hearing, if we can, you know, listening to the birds when we're outside, you know, listening to the wind in the leaves of the trees, you know.
It's surprising that people within the city, the people who are not in the nature, but within the city, they have an amazing view. I mean, an incredible apartment in New York, for example. Yeah. They have the conditions to be centered and to be grounded.
That's
no
true.
Matter where they are, no matter where you are, you all have that specific time. I'm going to conclude by saying that the body is first and foremost made out of energy, just like all the universe. Before energy becomes a physical body, it organizes itself into vortices of energy called chakras. Yeah. And these are joints, points in our body. So chakras are vortices of energy, emitting and radiating constantly energy. So that will be the actual concept of chakra.
We probably should have talked about that in the beginning, actually.
Well, it's the same idea. We do have the conclusion of it, and what are chakras is vortices of energy, and they are triangular, by the way, but they form a circle. Since we are in this dimension deals with circular energies. So when
they're always moving.
A stone in the water, the vibration is circular. So we are,
and they all move in a clockwise. They're always moving in a clockwise direction, except for our second chakra, which rotates counterclockwise.
That's very good. That's a very good tip. Thank you so much, Greg. I mean, it's been a pleasure talking to you as always.
You too. Thank you, Romel.
I hope all this information will serve all the individuals that are interested in this material. Thank you very much.
I hope so. Thank you. Thank you very much. Okay.
Anything else you'd like to add?
Just really quick. So there's a few flower essences. So there's corn, clematis, and rosemary.
Okay.
For flower essences that one can use as well for the root chakra.
Fantastic. Yeah. Thank you once again. And with this, we conclude our introspective of the day.
Okay, thank you.
Have a great day.
Okay, say hi to everybody for me.
Stay grounded.
Yeah, will do. You too.
Excellent. Right. Take care now.
Ciao.